Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I see we are in the post-Easter lag now. Not nobody, I'm sorry, I'm discrediting your presence here, but where attendance has dropped. We had some rather officious people at the church I first served up in North Dakota, officious and a little sacrosanct, in their own viewpoints, and they would go, "Well, you see the church is full today on Easter. The only flowers they think we have are poinsettias and lilies." All right. Anyway, thank you for being here. We're going to kind of do, not judgmental at all.
No.
Not at all. We're going to have kind of a mini forum, and then we're going to have the longer forum. Kat is here to talk about the foundation a little bit and give us an update on that. We'll do that. We'll start with that.
Thank you. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm Kat Campbell-Johnson. I'm the head of the Mount Olive Lutheran Church Foundation. And last year, around the same time, we did a full hour on the foundation. But today, you're just getting a mini topic, just as a refresher, reminder. And then we'll also be presenting a little bit at the congregation meeting, which will be at the end of April. So you'll see me a couple times. So the goals for this mini forum, it's about 10 minutes max. We want to save time for our topic du jour. Just to really go over like the board and our structure, how the foundation works, and just some updates on communication. So just put a plug here, we do have a new website. That website does have some various resources that you can browse on your own time and place around legacy giving, charitable donations, and some other types of estate planning type topics. But it's MountOliveFoundation.org. There's a link to it from the church website and vice versa. Both tag out to each other. As far as the board, foundation, and structure, currently we have 9 board members. Our constitution and bylaws call for somewhere between 5 and 12 board members. The foundation board is a unique entity. We're a 501c3. We are registered with the state of Minnesota. We file a 990 every year. We do have our own unique constitution and bylaws. The constitution and bylaws are intertwined with the congregation as a whole. So the congregation actually votes and decides on the board members as the board sort of nominates them every year. And we do that in our April congregation meeting. The foundation was established in 1972. The board members serve 4-year terms. And the foundation reason for existence is solely to benefit Mount Olive Lutheran Church. So that's the purpose, that it is a foundation for investing assets and distributing those funds to Mount Olive Lutheran Church. Some quick facts, or quick updates. Recently, the foundation provided a loan for the columbarium expansion. You can see some of that construction going on in the transept there. In the most recent, 5-10 years, we also provided loan funds to complete the construction of the solar panels on our parish house here. The annual gift to the congregation for this year, representing 2023, is going to be about $72,000. We'll talk a little bit about that at the April meeting. In 2022, we announced a matching gift, a one-time matching gift to help support the Boldly Into the Future campaign. The cumulative gifts to the church over the years right now are very close to $1 million. So $890,000 in total over the years, plus that additional $100K that was done in the past couple of years. Our asset base right now is about $2 million. And that asset base is invested in mutual funds and stable CDs, so there's a mix there. And that's part of what the foundation does is review that on a regular basis, as well as work with congregants and friends of Mount Olive who are interested in, we call this legacy giving, right? It's not every day put money in the offering plate, but oftentimes when a loved one has left us, they're not going to be here every Sunday to put money in the offering plate. And so leaving a legacy gift to the foundation is a way for them to continue to do that when they're not here. How the foundation works. Gifts and bequests are made to the foundation of any size. We get lots and lots and lots of $20 and $30 contributions in memory of others or just thoughts, and we also get larger bequests when someone passes away. Maybe if the foundation might be named as a beneficiary, or there's an estate provision in a will or some other mechanism. Every year, a portion of the interest earnings are distributed to the church. It's typically about 3%, could be 4%, it just really depends. There's not a fixed number, but it's basically, we add up the interest and distributions that we've received from those investments. Think of it as like dividends. The fund grows year over year, and it provides a consistent income source for the church. The foundation makes recommendations for how those funds are used, but at the end of the day, the vestry really decides how those funds are used. Typically, the use cases around special projects, mission opportunities, innovations, or things that aren't in the annual budget, debt reduction, or one-time expenses. So solar panel construction and columbarium construction, again, are examples of that. It's really about continuing to support the mission of Mount Olive. There's no alternative agenda. The agenda of the foundation is our mission. Gotta have a chart. My day is not complete without a chart. This just shows the growth since 1999. At that point in time is when the growth of the assets really started taking shape. I didn't measure it all the way back from 1972. There was very small growth between 72 and the early 90s. So it shows the growth over time, and then the cumulative gift total all the way at the right. I think it's important to think about this as an asset. It's very similar to like the building. You know, we could sell the building today and take all of the proceeds and give it all to neighborhood ministries. That's a possibility if you wanted to. But we utilize the asset. We utilize the building. We use it in our mission, and we use it in our work every day. The foundation I think of as the same thing. It's an asset that we can reuse over and over again to continue our mission. I don't think of it as a rainy day fund or a slush fund or a, asset sitting idly. I really do think of it as an important way, one, to continue the legacy from, those who have gone before us. And it also gives us a way to have a longevity that we might not get depending on just daily or weekly contributions as our only source of funds. And I will mention too, so the other piece to think about is our annual gift to the church is about $72,000. That is less than 10% of our annual budget. So if you think about just a proportionality, there's no rule of thumb, how big or small should it be, but it is truly a small percentage of the total giving that we as a church require for our budget and our mission every year. All of the assets are 100% invested in mission-based funds and institutions. So for example, we invest in the ELCA Ministry Growth Fund, which is a mutual fund comprised of multiple stocks and bonds and things that you would see on maybe a 401k type report. We all utilize Thrivent Credit Union as our primary banking source, and then all of our fixed term investments are invested in the Mission Investment Fund. Anyone can invest in the Mission Investment Fund as well. They have some consumer-based type products. They have certificates of deposit and checking and savings type instruments. Their website is, you can look it up or look on the ELCA, just kind of a neat thing to know. The easiest way to provide something for the foundation is either a beneficiary designation. If you have an asset that lists a beneficiary, you can always list the foundation or the church. Again, it's your choice on how you want funds distributed. If you want them used right away, the church is probably the best bet. If you want the funds invested and distributed year over year over year, the foundation would be the best choice. We do have our own separate identification and designation from a taxable standpoint, but the easiest way is also a will provision. So at whatever time you're updating your estate planning, we can provide you with a form and a simple way to execute something like that. And you can always talk to one of the board members. In a confidential conversation, we talk a lot about confidentiality and trust building. That's very important to us. We know that sometimes conversations can be not fun, or even when you're talking about a family member or a loved one. We're not professional estate planners, we're not tax people, we're not lawyers. Well, some people are on the board, but and some folks on the board do have a lot of giving and financial asset management experience, but our main goal is to support the church, and that's why we do this work. We'll be at the congregation meeting in April. I have some handouts then if you want to learn more. We do have a new website. We have an email address if you'd like to email us. Or again, any of the board members that I showed at the top slide are always happy to chat or discuss options or alternatives with you, or just chat in general, because we like what we do. Thank you. Any forum. Thanks, David.